I want to show you this great new feature that we're adding in ThermoGrid very soon. And that feature is the ability to add items from the item estimate page. And we're also going to show you that there's going to be some small changes to the job costing page as well. So sometimes when you're out in the field, you may need to add an item to your service catalog on the fly instead of having to click on the settings, go to service item catalogs, and add an item from there. We've actually made it easier to do this kind of on the fly. What you'll do is kind of your normal add an item in ThermoGrid. So you click on the add item button, and you're going to see this brand new button right here that's new catalog item. And you can kind of do this from anywhere. So if I'm looking for something and I can't find it, I can just go ahead and click on that new catalog item pretty much anytime. And we wanted this to be very simple and basic. So if I click on new catalog item, I can call it the name. So I'll call it test item for video. And I could have it in a certain category. It could be a furnace, could be any of my types that I already have in my service catalog. If I can call this inventory, I can have it add a description to it. And then I can actually choose a price. So if I want it to be $150, I can make it $150. Or if I wanted to actually have ThermoGrid calculate that cost for me, I can put in my costs if I knew those right away. So I'll go ahead and I'll keep that as the $150. What kind of sales tax, and is it a commissionable item? I will go ahead and I click and I use that. If I click on save, it's going to save it. I'm going to get the item added like usual back to the service catalog. Now, once I close this, it's going to recalculate my price. And right here, there's my test item for video. And I can see that. And if I go in my detail view, I can see that there it is for my $150 and it was a sales tax item. So I can go through my invoice as usual. I can do that. And that's it. I just sold that, and that's part of my invoice that I just sold to the customer in the field. And again, there's my test item for video. Um, Something to do to that though is we know if we want to manage our inventory, when we do our job costing, we will see once we go through here, see, I do see the order is not submitted yet, but I do see right here, my test item for video. It has a little red flag next to it, and that's because items that are made in the field, we set those up for review. And review is essentially saying that, hey, we may not have a complete set of information here. I didn't put in costs. I didn't put in certain things. I can either click on this little red flag, or I can click on this little breakout button. Clicking on that breakout button will allow me to finish adding this item that was added in the field. So if I wanted to add a cost, materials cost, labor cost, if I wanted, or update the category, if I wanted to put that somewhere, that is what I can do from here. And then when I'm all done, yeah, I'll go ahead and save it. But I can also, and then, once I make sure that flag is no longer there, I'll actually uncheck that flag. Something that's really neat though too, in addition to this, if I'm not ready to do this, or if I'm waiting for something, or if I just need to do this at a later date, I can go ahead and process this as normal. I can close it. I can submit it to QuickBooks if I need to. But what I can do down the road is I can actually go to my service catalog, click on items, and with our service catalog now, I can actually search for items that are flagged for review right here. Flagged, no, or yes. So here's all of the flagged items we have waiting for us. And so here's my test item for review. I can do the same thing. I can click in that, take it to the page, edit it, and then I can uncheck it. Now, something that's really neat about this new feature that's going to be a little bit extra icing on the cake here is I can flag things manually if I wanted to review those later. So this zone control panel, if I wanted to say, all right, something's off with this. I know I sold this last week. I might have to review my costs. It might not be $241 anymore. Let me flag this for review to revisit in the future. So that's not an item we added in the field. This is just an item we wanted to flag. So if I flag the item, I look at my items down the road and I say, all right, show me all my flagged items. There's the item that I know I needed to flag because I need to revisit it later. It will stay flagged until I decide to unflag it. So hopefully this is something everybody finds a little bit easier, nice to use, something nice to use in the field. And one thing to note for certain is we do not necessarily want everybody doing this. So this is a setting that you will do under manage users, user accounts, and you would open up a user. So I've got Service Mike here. What I would do is I would click on edit, and right here, create catalog items. If this is checked, I can add items in the field. If it's unchecked, I can't do it anymore. So if I go back here and I look at these items and I go ahead and I pull up one of these orders, where I used to be able to do it, I cannot do the new catalog item, I don't have the ability to do it anymore if I was that user. So that is what I wanted to show you. That's what we're really excited about, and we will be releasing this very soon. We will give you notification before we release it. Thank you.